Alright guys, tell me, what sounds better? One or two? One or two? Let me guess, two, right? Because the first one sounds like shit, and the second one is so clean. And look, it's the same exact processing, but can you guess what I did differently? Yes, it's in the title, parallel processing. What is parallel processing? Parallel processing is essentially duplicating a output signal. I guess it's like my way of explaining it. Well, that's basically what it is. You have an output, which is output signal, which is your bass, right? You duplicate that. Now you have two output signals from the same sound. But what you do is one of them is your dry signal and one of them is your wet signal. For beginners, dry in music means no effects on said sound, and wet means effects on said sound. So you have a dry signal and a wet signal. And what I like to do in parallel processing is get EQs, isolate the sub, and then isolate the actual bass sound, those higher frequencies and mid frequencies, in a different separate EQ. That way I can manipulate the actual bass without affecting the sub, which if you listen again, you can hear the sub is being affected by all those effects. But in this instance, the sub stays intact. Isn't that so amazing? And I'll show you how I did it. Don't be intimidated by the name. I know parallel processing probably freaks you out, and it did for me too the first time I heard it, because I was thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna start doing math or something and fucking music production. But no, it's like the easiest thing ever. I'll show you and I'll do it from scratch. So let's get a new live set. Okay, make sorry, I'm sick. I probably have COVID for like the second time. Alright, we have a brand new project, and just to save time, because I want to get straight to the point, I'm going to use virtual right bass loops. I know, right? So whatever, but yeah, I'm going to show you. Let me make these all white, actually. This doesn't matter. This is not part of it. Don't go making all your tracks white. That's nothing to do with it. I'll have a red and a green that we can see which one is and which one isn't parallel processed. Let me show you. So let's get one. Let's see. I don't know. Sure, I like this one. Let's get this one. Let's also get it over here. This one's going to be green, of course, because this is the one that's being parallel processed, and red means no parallel processed. Now, let's start parallel processing. The way I'm going to do with the parallel process, I'm just going to duplicate all the effects that you put on the parallel processed one, because it's just easier for me that way. But yeah, let's start. Let's say you're going to get an audio, go to audio effects. Okay, you're going to get an audio effect rack. And essentially what it's going to do is it's going to let you use multiple effects and separate chains, which is very useful for this. Okay, so we're going to get an EQ8. It lets me drag it in here. There you go. Now you click on this button and this will show you all your chains in said audio effect rack. You will duplicate this. Now let's solo this bass. We're going to solo each one. This is what I do. I solo the sub. Right around there is good. And then let's isolate the actual bass. Now you see I have the sub, one more layer, and then the bass, and this as a separate layer, sort of. Now you combine them and you get both. You get the full sound. But now I can go into the actual bass layer and manipulate it and add effects and all sorts of cool techniques and sound shit without actually affecting the sub, which is very handy. But because that's one mistake I did. If you've seen that gun rack light video where I showed the light gun rack light and then the actual my full gun rack, the mistake I did was not parallel process my actual gun rack, which is a mistake because if you look closely, I have a frequency shifter chorus knob on there, and I like to frequency shift my guns because I like those very deep tones in my basses. Unfortunately, I was frequency shifting my sub as well because I didn't parallel process, and that's something I'm doing a lot more often now because it allows me to manipulate my bass in so many ways without affecting something so important like the sub, which I feel like this could also be so useful in genres like color bass, because you don't necessarily want to pitch map your sub, or you don't necessarily want to pitch map. I mean, not pitch map. You don't want to vocodex your fucking sub or resonators to affect your sub. You want your sub to be the sub. You don't want fucking resonated sub, or pitch mapped sub, because then it makes your bass all weird and weak. But yeah, so now we have this soloed bass sub and a soloed bass. I can now start adding effects onto this actual bass here without affecting the sub. What am I gonna do? You know what? I feel color bassy today. This is in D sharp. We're gonna get a hybrid reverb. Let's get a hybrid reverb here. Let's put it on the bass, and let's get my favorite convolution impulses, which you should definitely get. I'll link these in the description. They're free, by the way, made by my friend Zebra. Very awesome bass impulses. Look how good these sound. Now I'm gonna go in here and solo these. You know what I also really like about parallel processing is that you know how I'm like in this chain right here that I have soloed, I am soloing the actual bass, not like separating the sub in the separate layer. Now that since I'm separating it, it won't include the sub frequencies won't show up in this convolution EQ, hybrid reverb EQ, which makes it easier for me to tell where I should EQ. I don't know when to EQ these certain frequencies. Because anything over here is just unnecessary. Ends it right here, so I'll end it right here. Dope. That completes both together. And then let's see, what else do I want to add to this bass layer? I'm using stock effects, by the way, because I don't want to like drag anything, some big plugin. Let's see. I don't know, maybe I want some saturation, maybe I want to beef this bass up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, let's go like 2 dB. Or actually, let's soft clip this, and I'm just gonna go like actually 1.5, I don't know. And then let's get, what else can I get? Maybe a vocoder, I don't know, sounds interesting, maybe we can do something with this. 40 bands, let's get fancy with it. I have some high, harsh frequencies. I want to get rid of those. So, what else do I want to add? Let's frequency shift this. That sounds like a cool idea. I want to frequency shift this. Let's bring the chorus down a little bit. Maybe I want to put this after the hybrid reverb. Maybe let me automate this actually. I think that would be cool. Set this to 0. That's too much of a change. Let's do like minus 100. I see these plugins. Maybe I want to get some micro up in here. Free plugin, by the way. If you don't have it, you should probably get it. It's really cool. I'm gonna put the saturator to 1 as well. Kind of like that preset, so I'll use that one. What else can I add to this bass? Maybe some actual reverb. Maybe. I'll turn the decay down, low cut. Oops. Let's see what else. Maybe some OTT. Wouldn't that be awesome? What other plugins can I put in here? I could drag a pitchmap, but I'm not gonna do that. Because that pitchmap is so CPU intensive. What else can I add on here? Pitch monster would be cool, but haven't used that so much. Okay, you know what? I think that's all I want to add. Dope. Now let's hear what this sounds like if I put this on the actual bass. Oh, this I'm supposed to turn this off, by the way. Here we go. Let's go over here. Let's get this bass. This is not parallel process, by the way. Red is not parallel process, and green is parallel process. This is what it sounds like. Oh, did I? Yes, I did. Okay. This is what it sounds like. Oh shit. Oh shit! I meant to have this off. Okay, this is what it sounds like. Not very good, huh? And then parallel process. You can hear how like the sub isn't even present on the first one. It's because of this EQ, isn't it? No, I don't have an EQ cutting out the low end. Oh yes, I do. And then parallel process. See how amazing that is and so simple. You can do this in literally 2 minutes and it'll make your bass so much cleaner. You can, from what I think you can do, is also do this for drums. Like let's say you want to like compress your drums or something to give it more punch or whatever, but you're scared or like worried about losing dynamics or whatever. From what I've read, you can do the same exact thing, a wet and dry signal. The dry being not affected and the wet being affected, and you can just adjust those to your liking. But yeah, I hope that was helpful, and I think the next video I'm about to record how to make your own like bass track or whatever. That was supposed to come out before this one, but the audio fucked up. Like I realized my mic wasn't on the whole time. So yeah, that was really cool and interesting, and I'm sorry if I sound like an idiot. I'm really tired. I haven't slept at all, and it's 9 in the morning, and I'm sick. But yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good one.